What up, what up, what up? It's Kenny. How's it going? We are here at Arconics channel. Oh yeah, let's go to the thing. Bam! There it is. Twitch.tv/Arconics. Let's get to it. Let's get to it right now. Alright. Sunita, let's watch this. Let me react to this. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit too. Actually, no, I'm going to turn the music off just for a second. Alright, here we go.
I had somebody, a guy I really liked, and then we broke up. I miss him so much. I had somebody, a guy I really liked, and then we broke up.
I think what you're going to find is that you need to get, for the timing of this entire scene, just like how it's timed out in terms of like how the performance is matching up with the dialogue that we're hearing. You're going to want her to move a little bit less sort of like directly and quickly from the box of ornaments to the tree. What I'm seeing right now is she kind of is all like stacked up, and I'm not against like the cross legs. I think like cross-legged poses can make, you know, for a huge amount of interest. But what happens is that it turns into just this kind of like big production of getting her from facing the ornaments to facing the tree. And when I see things like that, it seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that you're actually a little bit worried about getting her turned around, getting that 180 kind of thing happening, and what the feet are going to be doing and how they're going to cross over and how you're going to keep her on balance and whatever. And that is one of the things that I think is really advantageous to do just a ton of reference for instead of worrying about it. So like the overall, I know you did like a tempo pass on this, which is good. I know you did all the reference according to how I advise you guys on kennyroy.com how to do it, which is good. So I know you've done your homework that way. But then I would literally just stand up and do a couple takes of just doing a little bit more of a relaxed sort of like finding her way over there, because she's all about this ornament that's in front of her face while she's talking about this guy. Let me get the line one more time. I had somebody, a guy I really liked, and she sounds like she's like talking about him sort of like, you know, wistfully. So, you know, having that ornament, let's use my rooibos tea, having that ornament and sort of just, you know, kind of like finding her way over to the tree a little bit more, and just do a couple, just like I just did, just do a couple takes where you're, you know, I had somebody, look at this thing that you're holding in your hand, and, you know, kind of like consider it and take it seriously. I had somebody, and kind of like find your way over. You know, see if there's like, if that leg kind of like drags and slides. But so right now, what it looks like is you've set yourself up to have like this one kind of action to happen. Instead, it's taking it out of sort of the naturalism of the scene of the motion right now. It's making it feel like the entire shot has been set up almost to deal with that step. Okay. And she goes over a little bit too quickly. She ends up essentially moving over at a speed that means that she's sort of not like far off, looking at this ornament, but also far off, because that's the entire point of the scene, is that she's sort of like feeling all these things, doing all these things, and being, you know, taken back to a memory that makes her like actually break down and cry.
And then we broke up. I miss him so much.
And then again, finding her way back to the table. She starts like crying, maybe work her back towards the table, and then the table almost catches her. Like, don't have her like fainting, but like, you know, I miss him so much. Put the hand down, lean into that, shoulder up, you know, have that whole body sort of like sink into, you know, have that spine sort of sink into that last desperate pose.
We broke up. I miss him so much.
And I'm not sure about the performance choice of having her looking backwards here at the tree either. It seems as though once she finally gives into letting herself feel, letting herself break down in this moment, she would lose everything. She might even close her eyes for this entire thing, which is why she might be feeling around for the table and leaning on it as well. So there's a lot of options for you still at this point in terms of performance choice. But I think actually the best thing to do is to move forward with the animation. Just make those little changes that I said, and then let's get some breakdowns in here and experiment while you're doing this. I know you've seen the tempo lectures. I know you have. So if you're going to do this, right, I feel that you're going to have a lot of different timing experiments as you're working. That's what tempo is great for. You don't have to use a dope sheet like I do. You can do this in the timeline, or you can do this in the graph editor, whichever one is more comfortable for you, or dope sheet. Regardless, a lot of experimentation, a very, very open and sort of experimenting attitude is really going to make this shot shine, okay? So, shot, shine. Shot, sign? Shot, shine. Shot, shine. Okay. Good stuff. Please keep going. I want to see more updates, more frequent updates if we can, so I can see exactly how your workflow is going. You asked, I'm finding it hard to block on 4s. Any suggestions? Well, don't block on 4s. With tempo, the best thing to do is to get your main moments in, not necessarily your main poses, but your main moments, and those typically do line up with poses, sometimes not. But get those moments in on full body, and then move them around. Step mode, move them around, and then you'll get to a certain point where you're like, wow, this was actually the best choice. And that's what tempo gives you. It's putting like a dozen choices in front of you, and making it so that you can get a almost the experience of directing animation while you're animating on something, because most animators have good enough taste and a good enough eye. Even if you can't make the animation look Pixar quality yourself, you can pick out which is the best of like 10. And the best animators I know can do those 10 in like an hour, those 10 different choices. Tempo lets you do 10 different choices in 10 minutes. And so if you can take a step back, almost as if you weren't the person that animated that, and then judge all of these different choices like on their own merits, and then go with the one that's best, you'll improve really, really quickly. Your instincts will get better. Your natural choices, the things you're gravitating towards, that'll get really refined, and everything will improve. So don't just block on 4s, because a scene might not naturally have a moment that needs to go on a 4. Don't just arbitrarily knock down those breakdowns and in-betweens. There's a couple different tempo lectures, so if depending on which ones you've seen, maybe you need to check out some of the other ones, some of the more advanced ones. But either way, this shot has its legs, has its footing. You need to move forward fast. Okay, cool. That's it for now. I will see you guys around here on the Twitch channel. See you around. Rock on.